trying to head it off by, they have what they call drug recognition experts, or DREs. That when you do a standard field sobriety test for someone that's under the influence of alcohol, there's some key signs that you can identify that would show that they're under the influence of alcohol. You'll still notice the same patterns prior to the stop, as far as driving, weaving in between lanes, things of that sort. But when you do the standardized field sobriety test, you're not going to see the same signs that you see as someone that's intoxicated under alcohol. But there's obviously still some sort of impairment. So that's one of the things that we're challenge that we're facing, and the availability of those DREs to be able to respond to every incident is one of the challenges. And also the legislation. I know personally speaking, as a law enforcement officer, it's hard for me to cite somebody or charge someone with something if I don't understand the law myself. And there's a lot of contradiction in the laws as far as what we can enforce, what we can't enforce. And again, as a law enforcement officer, I know for me that's something that's I find is a challenge. So a personal example that I have and why this is so important to me is about 2 years ago, right before I got out of the military, the guy that was taking over my job for me, a really good friend of mine, was on his motorcycle. It was late at night. He hadn't been drinking, or he wasn't under the influence of any drugs. However, he was operating the motorcycle on his way home, and there was another lady that was under the influence of drugs that ended up going on the wrong way on the interstate. She went up the off ramp and proceeded to go down the highway at a high rate of speed and hit my friend head on. And obviously he was on a motorcycle, so he didn't make it. And that's just one of the few personal examples I have. I have plenty more, some as being a law enforcement officer, and some personal experiences where just the reality of this going on is, it's out there and it's happening every day. Everyone around us you just don't know who they are. And I don't want you guys to be those individuals. If you go to your last page, what I have there is, again, a slide saying, don't let this be you. The statistics show 11.4% of the fatality accidents that were reported on a recent NHTSA study showed that these individuals were under the influence of drugs when they committed, and these are just deaths. So these are obviously also the only accidents that are being reported. A lot of these studies also only take in the voluntary assessment of the people that take the surveys. So a lot of people don't, even though it's a confidential survey, aren't willing to admit that they were under the influence of some sort of intoxicant during the time frame of that study. So we don't really know the actual numbers, but it's a lot higher than the 11.4 and the 22% that the studies on the slideshows have put out to you. So again, I ask all of you, if you take anything from this, is to go home, think about your significant others, your kids, before you get behind the wheel. Even if all you did was take a prescription medicine that was prescribed to you, or if you see someone else in your household that might be doing something that they shouldn't and they go to get behind the wheel. Also, like I said, informing others of the consequences of drug driving and what it can cause and the damage that it can cause. Thank you.